Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm back, finally. I know I took a long time of making any videos, but I'm back to do a few more. Because I feel like there's some interesting stuff to talk about now. I kind of want to take this time to talk about what we've seen so far from Black Ops 7. Yeah, to be honest, I'm feeling pretty excited about the game, which is maybe gonna get me some flack because I think there's a lot of negativity surrounding the game at the moment, and rightfully so. There's enough in there that I'm excited about. Like, I'm gonna buy the game regardless of whether it's good or not. You know, it's a Treyarch Zombies game. I'm not gonna miss out on it. I hope it's really good. And I think before we had got that trailer for the intro cutscene, I wasn't super excited about the game. Like, obviously, there was that presentation that some YouTubers went to, and they got some information in the presentation about the game, and they also got to play the game. But they can't talk about anything that they played so far, which I think is not a very good sign if they're not allowed to talk about it. But what it seems like, especially because Gobblegums are carrying forward, so it seems like the map is going to be really similar in terms of gameplay systems to Black Ops 6, which isn't a very good thing. I don't love the Black Ops 6 system. I think classic Zombies, Black Ops 4 and previous zombie games had a much better system. I don't really like how Modern Zombies plays and feels. I can do a whole video complaining about that, but the gist of it is that I feel like all of the decisions and progression and stuff happens in the menus before you load into the game, and then you just kind of play it, and it just kind of plays itself. Like, I started with this shotgun. I'm never gonna change weapons this whole game, you know? Like, I already have it. Now I just have to play the game. Like, yeah, just things like that that don't sit very well with me. But yeah, that's the general gist. So that is disappointing news. However, they are doing some things that look, at least, to be steps in the right direction. On that list is they've said they're kind of revamping their map design. So they said they're going to take us into new interesting places. If the leaks that we've seen so far are true about the DLC maps, looks like we're going to be getting a map in Japan, a map in Afghanistan, a map in Vietnam, a map in New York, and then potentially a space station map as well, plus the Ashes of the Damned map, which is like the transit reimagining. So map locations are much better because 3 out of the 6 maps in this game take place in West Virginia. So yeah, at least we're getting some better variety, it seems like. They also have committed to doing intro cutscenes for each map that's going to come out, which I think is great because this game was sorely lacking in story and cutscene, and you could see just from the trailer that we just got how much hype an intro cutscene builds around the game, so I think that's fantastic. Also, the new characters that we got. So, well, I say new characters, but the return of the old characters, but new versions of the old characters. We don't know how they are back, why they are back. Supposedly they all died in the end of Tag der Toten, but they're back again. But yeah, like I said, they're not the same versions of the characters that we had at the end of Black Ops 4. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how they're going to incorporate these characters back into the game. But from what we've seen of the characters so far, they actually look really good. Like, the redesigns they've done, I think, look amazing. And if you read the little character bio descriptions that they put up on the recent blog, that sounds really cool. Like, they're not the original characters, they're coming from different time periods and different places. I think the coolest example is Richtofen, who's coming from a version of World War II where the Axis power is 1, and especially because we've now got 8 main operators. So we've got those characters here, and we also have these characters from this game, so Carver, Maya, Gray, and Weaver. To be honest, I don't really care too much about any of these characters. Weaver is like the most interesting of them, but even that, like, he's not that interesting. But I think the fact that we have the original characters is great, and even look at the key art for the game, like the new these characters from Black Ops 6 aren't even on there. So yeah, it seems like they're just leaning in. Oh my god, look at that. Nice, very good. The only thing I'm really not excited about, kind of like I mentioned before, is the gameplay systems. Like, if it's just going to be DLC for this game, like exactly the same systems, Gobblegums, armor, all that stuff, like, that's going to be the most disappointing part, and that's where the game is really going to let itself down. Like, I'd love them to go back to how Zombies kind of was, with, like, cleverly crafted map designs. Like, you look at Shadows versus something like Reckoning, like, you can see how much more love was put into Shadows versus this. But yeah, I'd love gameplay systems changes to where it feels more like classic Zombies, because I do not love the Black Ops 6 systems, like I was saying. And I was kind of thinking, like, how could they adjust these systems in a way that wouldn't be like a crazy amount of effort to get it closer to a game that feels more like classic Zombies? And I think actually, it's not that far off. Like where we are in this game, the systems and everything, it's not that far off feeling like good classic zombies. I think it's not going to be perfect. You can't perfectly get back what we had with classic zombies with a new game mode in here that like derives from these gameplay systems, but we can get pretty damn close. So I did actually a lot of thinking about this, and I think I've found ways where changes they can make to all the systems in here that wouldn't be too taxing on the developers, and that they could actually get a pretty good classic mode going. So I kind of want to talk about that, and I want to hear your guys' opinions of my ideas in the comments if you think some of these things work or if they don't. So first off, perks, right? We put back the 4 perk limit. Okay, if you do side Easter eggs that give you free perks, then you can exceed the limit, right, by picking up the random perk power-ups that you get from that thing. So I think 4 perk limit is great. I think the Wonder Fizz can still stay. It should still spawn in after round 25, but I think the Wonder Fizz should only contain perks that are not on the map, like don't have perk machines on the map. So like, for example, Liberty Falls, right, has Stamina Up, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, PhD, Melee Macchiato, and Jug on the map, right? So those perks should not be in the Wonder Fizz on that map, right? I also think it might be too much effort for them to change how the perks pricing works. I mean, I liked having the perks having their own costs, but I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't get that back. In terms of the weapons, they also need a fair bit of fixing. You should only be able to start with a pistol, and then I think ammo crates should be gone entirely. We're going to change slightly how the Pack-a-Punch and the rarity systems work. So I think every weapon by default should be like blue or purple rarity. Doesn't really matter which to me. And then when you Pack-a-Punch your gun, the rarity changes to orange, right? That happens when you Pack-a-Punch. Okay, so we don't need to do salvage. Like, salvage is out of the game completely. It's not there. Weapon rarities are gone. It's just something that happens in the background. The player doesn't need to interact with that system. They just turn from blue to orange whenever you Pack-a-Punch. Done. Okay. I also think you only need to Pack-a-Punch once. Okay, so we're not doing this triple pack system where it's 5k, 15k, 30k. Nope, that's gone. We're just doing one Pack-a-Punch at 5,000, and that puts your gun up to tier 3 Pack-a-Punch straight away. Okay, so we don't need to do those. And I think that makes sense because right now in the game, if you run out of ammo, you go to ammo crate and buy ammo for like 5,000 points, right? Now in this version, you can spin the box for a new gun, right, 950, and then you can Pack-a-Punch that for 5,000, and you're back up to having ammo in a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch weapon. In terms of the attachments and stuff though, I actually like the zombie build system, like how you can put your own attachments on the weapons before the match starts. I think that's a cool idea, and I think it works well. It's a nice quality of life thing they've done. So I don't mind that at all. I think that can stay. And the same way the system is now, if you don't put a weapon build, then you just get random attachments when you pick up the gun. And then the other big controversial one I think is armor. So for armor, what we're going to do is, I don't want to make them have to put in a lot of effort and revamp like the entire armor system. So instead we'll keep armor, right? I mean, I would prefer a zombie shield obviously, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to keep armor. And then instead what we're going to do with armor is whenever you run over a plate, if you don't have full armor, then the plate automatically refills your armor. You don't have to do the replating animation. And then if you have full armor and you run over an armor plate, then it goes into your armor reserve, right? So the armor plates that you can carry and like equip later. And then if you want to equip those armor plates later, that's when your character does the replating animation. Okay, so it just takes out some of the tedium that I think we have now with the armor system. And I think that would be like a nice middle ground. And then yeah, the armor wall buys stay on the wall, right? You can still have those. I think those are fine. Then I think in terms of revives and stuff as well, we should go back to the Black Ops 4 system. So since reviving the player isn't something that's coded to Quick Revive anymore, right? We keep Quick Revive the same, no need to adjust it. And then what we do is we just have the player start with 3 self-revives. And that way, we don't need to go to the crafting table, and we don't need to do any crafting, right? So the crafting table's going to be completely eliminated from this mode. It's just not there. So score streaks are disabled. If you want tacticals and lethals, you can pick them up from zombies off the floor, or you can have the ones that you brought in with you in your starting loadout. And if you get a max ammo, those should be refilled, same as it was in the older games. So I think we can have that system back as well. Also, the arsenal machine is going to be gone completely because we're not doing weapon rarities, so that's going to be completely removed. And then in terms of alternate ammo types, I think we just go back to if you want to repack-a-punch your gun at the pack-a-punch machine, you do so for 2,500 points, and that gives you a random ammo mod. Perfect. I don't think we need to have the arsenal machine in the game anymore in this classic mode. that covers pretty much most of the big things. The other big thing I see people talking about is the point system, and again, I don't want them to have to completely revamp the systems that they've already made in this game. I want this to be a couple easy tweaks that we get a nice classic mode that works within the confines of this game. So like I said, it's not going to be a perfect classic mode, but yeah, so I think the point system, it's probably too much for them to revamp, so I think we just keep it the same as it is. Obviously, I think Easter eggs should be enabled in this classic mode, and it kind of acts as like a hard mode and a classic mode like at the same time, because yes, there's some things that make it easier, like just having one Pack-a-Punch tier that does all three in one, but there's some things that make it much harder, like only having 4 perks, right? So it kind of acts as this dual hard mode, classic mode thing, which I mean could be a lot of fun. Those are all mostly just toggles, turning things on and off, enabling, disabling certain parts of the game. It's not revamping any big systems, and I mean, I don't know much about game development or really anything, but it seems like it wouldn't be too hard to implement a mode like that. I think it seems less complicated than like the limited time modes that they made for this game anyway, right? So, like, it seems like they should be able to do something like that, and I think that would really appease like a lot of the community that wants that sort of classic zombies gameplay back. I mean, there's definitely other problems with these games too. Like, I just feel like I never get stuck. I think the Omni movement and the mantling and that sort of stuff, it's much easier to escape when you get trapped from zombies. Like, I never feel like I get stuck, and I never feel threatened on the early rounds like I did in other zombies games. I'm gonna have to get rid of my ray gun for the Gorg effects, aren't I? That's so sad. Actually, or we could try to beat this with the ray gun, right? We swap to the ray gun as the main weapon. Maybe we do that. That'll be more fun. I got the Gorg effects. Wait, why did my ray gun drop? Yeah, you can only have one? You can't have both? No, I want to trade this for the ray gun. Oh my god, you can't have both. That's so dumb. I can't have the ray gun and the Gorg effects at the same time. That's so stupid. Wow, that's so stupid. I guess the last thing I didn't touch on for the classic mode would be field upgrades, and I think they can stay, because they basically are what specialists were in Black Ops 4, and that was, I consider to be a classic zombies mode, so yeah, I think that's okay. We can keep that stuff around. But yeah, I know Black Ops 7 is in their section of the timeline where they're marketing the game really heavily. They're trying to do things that will appeal to people and trying to get them to pre-order the game or buy the Vault Edition. They've been doing some good stuff, like they've changed those skins, they've agreed to do intro cutscenes for every zombie map, cancelled carry forward, because they said that the aesthetics of things that were in this game aren't going to match the aesthetics they want for the next game, and I think these are like positive things that they're doing. I just hope that like the game is actually good. I really just hope the game is good. Like, I want it to be good, I want it to succeed, and I want to have a fun game to play. I like Black Ops 6, but I don't want more of this. I really want it to be different. The other thing with the modern zombie system that I really don't like is you have armor, but I have no idea how many hits from a zombie it takes for me to die. Like, I know in Black Ops 4 it's 4 hits and then I'm dead. I know in Black Ops 2, without Jug it's 2, and then with Jug it's 6. Like, you know exactly how many hits you have to take to die, and so when you die, it's like, okay, you know that you got hit that many times, you know why you went down. In this game, like, because I have no idea how many hits it takes to go down, when you do go down, you're always surprised by it. It doesn't feel like it was warranted, it just feels like bullshit, because you didn't know how many times you had to get hit, so why did you go down that time? Like, you know, there's no rule. I hope they do something to fix that, and I hope they don't make it so that the amount of damage that zombies do to you scales by the rounds, because I think that's a stupid system as well. And I know they're doing this refined Omni movement thing, but I also just really hope that it's easier to get stuck, that the game's just a bit harder, because this game is just way too easy. This map is okay, but they did it for Cold War's final DLC as well, where the map is just like a bunch of tiny maps all stitched together by teleports. Really not great map design. I'm very happy that we're done, or seemingly done, with this like dark, not Dark Ether, but like Requiem, Omega, Director storyline. Like, this storyline was not it. I was excited for it at the beginning of Black Ops 6, but the storytelling during Black Ops 6 was just not good. Terrible, I would say. And so I'm very happy that that's seemingly over, and it looks like we've got this new villain as well. The new villain seems great. It's like the bad guy, I guess the bad guy from the Fallout show. Like, wow, he looks like a great villain. I really hope that this hype and momentum that they're building up now, I hope that they capitalize on it. I think there's too many Easter egg steps in this game that make you walk slow. Like you have to walk slow for this one, and in Liberty Falls when you're carrying the things you have to walk slow. In Terminus when you're carrying the pipe connector fixed thing, you walk slow. There's too many walking slow steps in this game. I gotta get rid of this stuff. Now I'm thinking about what my tier list for this game is. To be honest, at the bottom I'm putting Liberty Falls just because Easter egg is boring, it's a survival map, it's uninspired, the location. It's a grindy map, and I'm not someone who grinds for camos or anything, so yeah, it didn't do anything for me. So yeah, I'm putting Liberty Falls last, in 6th place. Then I'm not sure what I put next. Like, I'm thinking it's the Tomb, but I kinda like the Tomb. The Wonder Weapon is really powerful, the boss fight is difficult, the Easter egg is not too hard, it's just a couple of annoying steps. I guess I'd probably put the Tomb there. No, you know what? I don't know, I don't want to put the Tomb in 5th. Which is odd because I just shafted on Liberty Falls for like some of the same things that the Tomb does, but maybe let's start the other way around. Like, what's the best map in the game? Okay, it's either Citadel or Terminus. I think I put Citadel first, I think Terminus second, and then I think Shattered Veil third, and then the Reckoning, and then the Tomb. No, then the Tomb, and then the Reckoning, and then Liberty Falls. I think that's my ranking. Yeah, I think that's probably my list. I don't know, that's subject to change. These maps are all kind of like, they're all kind of the same. Like, in a way, like, the gameplay feels so samey between all of the maps. I think that's the problem. The way the game is designed is that, like, you just play the game the same way every single game. Doesn't matter which map you're playing on, you just take the freaking Maelstrom as your loadout weapon and you're good to go. Like so all the maps just kind of play out exactly the same. You get all the same perks in every single map. I think we can beat this with it just double Pack-a-Punched, because I really cannot be asked to play long enough to get 30,000 points to upgrade this again. Like, I really cannot be bothered. We'll get armor and then we'll go. I'm not going to bother triple packing this, we're just going to try with a double pack because I really cannot be bothered. In the old games it was like, if I want to keep playing to get points to spin the box to maybe get a better weapon, like that would be the incentive to keep going. But playing just to get enough points, like I'm just putting the time in to get enough points to be able to get tier 3 Pack-a-Punch. Nah, that's just lame. I think we're gonna just go in like this and see how we go, beating the boss without like a completely kitted out setup. If we die, we die. I've beat this Easter egg before. I've beat both Maxis and Richtofen, Sam and Richtofen. The Richtofen boss fight is a very difficult challenge. If you're going for that boss fight, good luck, huh? I've only beat that one once, and it was just like, you have to be so specific with the setup and the strategy to get it done, that it's like, I could do it again, but that felt more like a one and done thing for me. The boss fights in this game are actually really good. Like, that's somewhere I think this game did a fantastic job. The boss fights are awesome. I haven't actually done the Sam boss fight in a while, because I think I beat this like the first couple times I played this through, and then I got pretty grilled into trying to beat Richtofen, so I just was focusing on that, so I actually have not done this one in quite a while, so let's see how we go. Finally, holy shit. Never do that Easter egg with a double Pack-a-Punched Maelstrom. The boss fight took fucking half an hour. Holy shit, that was not worth it. Sorry, I was silent for that whole boss fight because it was just so boring. Oh my god, triple pack it or bring a different gun, bring a DM10 or something. I think the Maelstrom triple packed is good, but double packed is not it, bro. My god, that took so long. Anyway, we beat it. My god. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscribe. Bye.